Praises and glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, Bashim Rakah, Quadash, and double honor to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught us this truth, and to include the elder bishops on down as well, and Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, Brakatham, to the hopeful elect as well as we believe that we are. And it's your brother Laban once again coming at you with another video in regards to another Mark of the Beast update. As this reads, Tories will consider compulsory digital ID cards. Chris Phillips says scheme could make it easier for people to prove who they are when using taxpayers funded service such as the NHS. The Conservative Party will very carefully consider introducing compulsory digital ID cards, the Shadow Home Secretary said. Chris Phillips said he believed there was a very strong case for introducing the cards to make it easier for people to prove who they are when using taxpayers funded service, but he added that the policy would raise questions around privacy and civil liberties and would therefore need to be rigorously assessed. On Thursday, Mr. Phillips said it was a legitimate and valid debate to have, and I think any responsible party should think about it very carefully. And what I'm going to say to this as well is the fact that this is not something that's new, that they have to actually be careful about. This is something that's been in the books way before time. They're just throwing this out there to make it seem like, oh, this is something new, and we got to be very careful about what the right or wrongs could very well be of this. But they already know it. Okay, and the reason why we can say that because we've done our studies, and plus, you know, we're privy to prophecy at the same time. So we know that these devils behind closed doors, they want to get us shipped. That's basically the end all be all of it. All right. And that's why they're talking about this right now. The reason for the digital ID cards is because the higher ups have told all of these politicians and those that are, you know, are part of government to bring awareness to this digital stuff, because the world is going to be transformed into that of a digital setting from a technocratical sense, and then, you know, your technocrats will be the ones to lead over you rather than your government per se. As well as I did a video about this subject matter before, and this woman mentioned in America that these tech companies will not companies, but these tech issuers, they're going to own, 80+% of America's debt. So if that's the case, then that means that you're going to be indebted to them. All right? These private companies, something along those lines. What I'll do is I'll put it on post-production. Or what I'll do is I'll go to the comment board and you can watch that video, and I'll send you the time to watch that video of that woman speaking. All right. So anyway, as this reads, on Thursday, Mr. Phillips said it was a legitimate, valid debate to have, and I think any responsible party should think about it very carefully. His comments came after Kemi Badenoch, the Tory leader, said in June that she would be open to the introduction of the cards to clamp down on illegal migration, and there lies the excuse, as well as I've mentioned before. The last Labour government attempted to introduce ID cards with the first issued in 2009, but the scheme was scrapped by the incoming Tory-led coalition on the basis that it was an erosion of civil liberties, right, because it wasn't time. But right now, we're in the exact proper time for digital ID cards. And plus, we're 5 years forward within the plan, the 2030 plan. So right now, like I said, this is the right time to be pushing this digital stuff. Okay, now I'm going to even go as far as reading this article too. As this reads, this is from the biometricupdate.com, which is a very good website. And I haven't been in this website for a while, you know, but watching the elder brothers get down, the elder Ariala from the Dallas, Texas camp, and the elder down here, elder, you know, Require come, you know, they've jogged my memory to go on the site again. So yeah, this even reads too, Europe's digital ID could inspire Global South's next generation of DPI tech, which the term Global South is referring to nations that are more underprivileged than Western nations. So yeah, as this reads, many countries have spent years building large-scale identity databases for issuing national documents, often based on biometric data. Governments are now trying to transform these identities registries into a national asset that could be put into the service of a country's digitalization plans, as well as generate revenue through digital public infrastructure, DPI. This is particularly visible in countries of the global south, where infrastructures, both physical and digital, has been lacking. Helping them achieve this goal are companies such as Tech5, a Switzerland-based biometric and digital ID developer, which has been working with governments in the Middle East, not the Middle East, but the East, Africa, and Latin America. So there you go. They've been working on this for years because the time is going to come when the time is right. They can initiate that implantable device and make it mandatory. That's what it's about. All right, I can't say anything else different than what it is. This is why they've got us hip to these phones. And with these phones, you have the ability to gather data. You take pictures, that's stored on your card. You download apps, that's stored on your card. And what your card does, that little chip, not your card, but the little chip in your phone, all it's doing is it's gathering all of that data. And as well as it's a tracking device too. All right. So again, that's why they got us hip to these phones, man. And with these phones, you can actually pay. So rather than using your card, you can pay with your phones instead. See, I'm still kind of old school. I'm still using my card. From time to time, what I'll do is I'll type my PIN number in, or I'll swipe my card. But mostly I'm swiping my card though, right? But nowadays you don't gotta even do all of that. You can do everything on your phone. Okay, you don't need to you don't need a credit card or a debit card to swipe anything. All right, you don't need to tap in your PIN number. All you gotta do is use your damn phone and pay for your shit and get out the store. It's very simple. That's what most people are doing. Even when you get on transportation, you can use the phone for that. They even have these wristbands that move in the same way. Where you swipe this you swipe the your wristband or your wrist and you buy your stuff. You get on the bus. So again, what's the reason for this tech? It's for conditional purposes. So we're conditioned by these technologies, then it won't seem so taboo if we're tripped. All right? And that's what they're pushing. And the universal basic income is going to be right in league with your chip. All right? So going back to this article over here, like I said, man, the digital ID cards has been had in mind for years. Just as well as I've just even spoken about on my last video, right? The one that I did on the 3rd, the MOT update that I did on the 3rd of this month. And I brought up something which was a book written by Zbigniew Brzezinski, which he used to be in your face from time to time back in the day, about maybe a little over 10 years ago. You used to see him every once in a while. But, of course, he's a lot older now, so he ain't really got the energy to be dealing with what's going on with the world and this new world order that they're building up, right? He ain't really got it in him to do it no more. So he's just, or maybe he's in a hospital. I don't know what the hell's happened to that guy. And neither do I care. But the point that I'm making is this guy wrote a book in 1970 speaking about how the world would be more technological. And I pointed out that you got people on Amazon saying that, oh, he predicted that the world was going to be technological. No, he didn't predict anything. They told him what the deal was going to be. These are insiders that know what they're going to do in the future in this world. All right, so now let's get to the scriptures. This is Revelations 3 and verse 10. Yeah, I'll get back to the brother, man. I'll get back to the brother. Yeah, Revelations 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all of the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Hold on, wait there. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, I just had to respond to the brother, man, because it's something that I wanted him to do, and it's important. Not that big of a deal, really, but it's just something that I need to be done. So because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all of the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So there you go. And I bring the scripture in the mix because I mentioned that what the global south represented, right? Because for one, the mark of the beast is going to begin. Well, actually, no, let me correct myself. The implantable device is going to mainly take place in the West. But overall, the rest of the world is gonna have to undergo that trend. So you have well-to-do countries that have already been shipping their people. Then that's the case, and these lower nations are gonna have to be chipped as well. It's kind of like when we was under the COV era, and everybody got the warning that, look, there's a variant out there that you got to protect yourself from, and you got to take the V shot. That went global. It started in China, and then it begun in the UK, and then America got a whiff of it, and then it came down upon everybody. And they're gonna do this thing quick too. They're gonna do this thing real quick. So let me look up this word temptation, right? From the Greek word, let's play this. Parasmas.
Strong's G 3986. Parasmas.
I was right.
Parasmas.
Parasmas. An experiment, attempt, trial, proving. Trial proving, the trial made of you by my bodily condition. Since conditions served as to test the love of the Galatians towards the Apostle Paul, the trial of man's fidelity, integrity, virtue, constancy. Now let's go all the way down to the point here. Hold on, we did. Right, verse 4. Biblical usage 4. This is the point. Adversity, affliction, trouble, sent by the Most High and serving to test or prove one's character, faith, holiness. And that's what's going to be had worldwide. Whether you be in an affluent nation or an under-affluent nation, we're all going to be tried. And the trial of temptation, or the hour of temptation, is going to be when the mark of the beast is going to be made mandatory, because they're going to make it so that you need it, and without it you can do nothing. But once you take that implantable device, then you've already stated your claim to the Heavenly Father and the holy angels that you've bowed the knee to a false god, the god of this world, which is of the devil. That's what you're going to declare, and there's going to be a judgment to that. Revelations 14 and 10, okay, will be the judgment for receiving the mark and his name and the number of the beast. As this is going to read in the book of James 1 and verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Absolutely. So the temptation that we're going to be tried and overcome is going to be the hour of temptation. And once we overcome that, then we'll receive the crown of life. Because we're tempted every day, but we haven't received that crown of life after enduring our here and there temptations, haven't we? So the temptation that we're going to have to go through to receive that crown of life is Jacob's trouble, which is also known as the hour of temptation. And as this reads as well, let's include this. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So there you go. Absolutely. All right. So what's going to keep us level-headed in that time is this wisdom, being reminded of the stories that was told in the book of Daniel concerning the three Israelites that did not bow the knee when the music was about to be played. So they were sent to the fiery furnace, and guess what? The men that sent them to the fiery furnace, they got burnt themselves, and they were had in refuge. All right, because their appeared as one, this is written in the book of Daniel, if I'm correct, Daniel 3, as one that appeared as the Son of Man, which is Yahushua that was there with them. All right. So while they were in there, they didn't feel the effects of the burning. They didn't even get burned at all. They were well taken care of. Because who did they fear? They feared the Lord. That's what it was. Okay? Isaiah 33 and verse 6. And so we're going to be reminded of these things in that time. And that's what's going to keep us stable. And so we're going to be willing to go through the trials. So now let me stop talking. Isaiah 33 verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, and fear of the Lord is his treasure. See, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. So that's what's going to be our treasure in those days and times. And so therefore we will be had in refuge. So that's all I got to say with this. I want to give the praises and the glory to the names of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone, and to include even the elder bishops as well. Shalom.